So hi everyone, welcome if you're here all the time, love you, and welcome if you're new. My name's Claire. This channel is about empowering you on your twin flame journey, your inner divine feminine, your inner divine masculine, empowering you to empower yourself. And I am pulling energy out of my ass, basically. Well, not really, but what I mean is, yes, in theory, I was like, yeah, I'll have loads of energy. It's a full moon in Aries, and then I know that I can rest towards the end of the week. It's not really quite worked out like that. It's like I am just kind of like, I'm tired. So I have allowed myself to rest majority of the day. I pretty much started this at 4:18. People know around here, if you're here all the time, that is my birthday numbers, but it also corresponds to the Four of Wands in tarot, otherwise known as Union. It's other things in tarot, but it's Union around here when we're a twin flame channel. I'm a twin flame divine channel. This is our channel, all that jazz. So I've got the sage burning there. So we're now, before I forget to mention, if you feel like a sharpness in communication, or you feel like conversation has went to things that are very Scorpio. So just to remind you, Scorpio is death and rebirth, transformation, shedding a skin. We're also in the last few months of Year of the Snake before we go into the Fire Horse sometime in February. So yeah, communication could have went a bit more intense or deep. Or I mean, the other thing is Scorpio is very spicy, very sexy, and we've already got Mars in Scorpio, the most sexual Mars sign, if you ask me. I have actually got that. But all jokes aside, that is why it's kind of weird. Like my stuff can jump from talking about twin flames and sacred union and tantra to super psychic detective energy and, people that are jealous of you because literally they're pulling me at the wee badge that says, don't be gel, be ream. That's quite funny. So if you know Joey Essex or if you watch TV, you'll know what that's all about. But yeah, literally my eyes were homing in on that as soon as I started talking. So somebody is jealous around you. Of what? We will find out why. I've picked up the emotions deck. So yeah, everything I do is channel and clear and healing energy. I think I said that, but so yeah, I'm kind of like, so I've got all excited because I just sat down and I wrote a plan of realistically, the videos I can get done. And basically it feels important to mention I've got my 90 on that says do it with passion or not at all. And it's kind of like this, so it's like my compromise is I can do it with passion, but I can only do it with passion if I can stay in my jammies to do it, kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to do. My goal is to film some of these hand ones, and then I'm going to have my tea, I'm going to have a chilled night, and then I'm going to film some mediumship Mondays for when I'm away, kind of thing. So it's like I'm making it fun, so it's not quite do it with passion or not at all, because I don't want to go down the not at all route, because I do want to do them. But again, if I really felt like, no, I've got absolutely nothing left in the tank, I'm not doing it, I wouldn't do it. But like I said, I do feel like I've got energy now that I've rested all day. So there's something with me saying that that's going to be relevant here, because this is the karmic balance one that I'm filming this for. This will go out on Wednesday, so I'm filming this on the full moon on the Tuesday. I filmed all of them yesterday in advance and stuff. So however that all fits. So again, I feel someone's feeling very grateful, thankful, and appreciative. So I feel, you're being guided to and coming out of a period of feeling embarrassed, self-conscious, awkward, and exposed. So that's just some of the feelings that are coming up here. This is just to help who's this going to make sense to. Rebellious, defensive, closed off, resistant. So somebody's coming out of these feelings and they're more receptive. Oh, that's all fit. Oh my God, look. Envious. Jealous, suspicious, possessed. Fucking hell, this is... well, we definitely have when, look, dispirited, disheartened, discouraged. So somebody was feeling discouraged, and I feel it was the people around you. I just got drawn to 418 on the timer too, so this is huge union energy with that full moon being yesterday as you're watching it, today as I'm filming it. I feel somebody's coming out and feeling discouraged. I feel this is some masculine energies. Now, this is what I mean about if you don't know astrology, because basically if you do know astrology, you'll get what I'm saying. But if you don't know it, just tune in. Like if your feelings of envy, jealousy arise in yourself, or you notice other people, or just communication being very intense, like, unfortunately, it's not a coincidence. I just realised I was literally just talking to somebody that's experienced a loss recently. I mean, and it's, you know what I mean, Mercury and Scorpio, it's just scarily, it's scarily the energy. But yeah, this is like a man overlooking, you know, feeling very jealous. So often, usually what I get with this is that as like a karmic, like, you know, a karmic partner of a twin flame. And this is a twin flame union that's happening and they're jealous. And hopefully not literally looking in your window, metaphorically kind of thing. But it's kind of like, or, you know, there's, you know, it could be something that's more public and it's being seen. But in this case, I'm actually seeing that as this is like a divine masculine male, worrying, thinking, shit, what if that happens? Do you know what I mean? Like, actually, I'm more receptive now, and I want this. I'm not resistant. I'm feeling grateful for the connection, and I'm feeling like I can get over any feelings of, like, I'm getting a feeling of like cringing or back, like, so maybe like your last sort of communication with this person, let's just get one more, was like, I just want the ground to swallow me up kind of thing. You know, this person just wanted to be like, I can't even deal with that, like, you know. But now they're out of that, if this is, or your person, if this is you. Oh wow, ooh, hateful, hostile, vengeful, spiteful. So I know it's harsh words. Again, we don't like the word hate around here, but I do feel this person could have, you know, could have been very angry towards you, or you were very angry towards someone, pessimistic, despondent, defeated, and hopeless. You know, so this person, this feels like someone that's been going through a dark night of soul. Whether this angry energy or hateful was, you know, unfortunately directed towards you, or other people, or just the situation, the person's out of it anyway. So that more feels like coming out of a dark night of soul. So fucking hell, we're going right in with Mercury and Scorpio, indeed, because it's, I mean, it's literally, it's conjunct my Pluto right now. So that is very intense. You know, I've got Pluto and Scorpio all the time at 0 degrees. And it's, I think it's already, yeah, it's 1 degree. Yeah, it's 1 degree. So, you know what I mean? It's quite intense. So, the things to be aware of is in yourself is, you could be on the receiving end of people with a nasty tongue. So, don't give energy to things that aren't worth your time, is what I would say. But just, again, also, if you've got a tendency to be like that, especially where drink's involved, doesn't always need me drink, but whenever I've had things like, oh, thank God not for a long time, but when I think historically, whenever drink was involved and then an argument happened, oh wow, like, you know, these even, and there's quite funny arguments I've had with, these are like people who are not in my life anymore, but it was always like, you know, when you're just like, you just didn't, like, you know what I mean, it's, people go there. So fuck, I mean, I hope nobody's experiencing that, but trust me, you will, you know, someone will experience it out there. Right, okay, so on that cheery note, what have we got? Because I've not got all day and I've got about 100 of these to film, but we'll do it. The theme is, what's a karmic clearing, karmic balance thing? Oh, powerful visual. Untangle emotional dependency. I pulled this one in the membership on one of the wee shorts last week. So that's a text coming in as well. So you could be getting communication coming in. You know, you could be getting expected or unexpected communication coming in. That was just somebody, one of my friends, replying to me from something I sent earlier. But that could be from a twin flame, because this looks very much like twin flame sorting stuff out. But again, equally, this could be karmic partners too, because anyway, so we'll read it. When love feels like survival, it's not love, it's fear. You're safe without attachment. So intense stuff, but I want you to really tune in. If you are currently with someone, is it love, or is it like an unhealthy, toxic tie? Like, I know, you feel like you have to constantly please this person. You feel like you don't know where they end and you begin. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. You know, I could go on and on and on, but that kind of thing. It's like, basically, this is where you would need to sort your boundaries out. It's sad, but you know, you cannot. It's not healthy. But as much as I'm saying you cannot. Like, people do. This is the thing. People do. A lot of people do go through their life in these situations, but if you recognise you're in it, it's wise to heal it, you know. And it doesn't always mean, like, so say this is two twin flames and you got yourself in this situation. There's no way around it. You will have to be apart to heal it. you can't heal where the wound was created, kind of thing, that kind of vibe. But it's worth it. If this is about twin flames, it's worth it to spend the time apart, to heal, to think about any film. Now I'm getting flooded with all these memories of, The Rebound. In The Rebound, that's a good example because, that's another age difference film too. But that's why they split up, actually, because of the age difference. And then remember I mentioned Prime, which is also an age difference a while ago. These are, they've got sad moments, but they've got happy. But The Rebound is more happy because, spoiler alert, there is a reunion after the younger guy has went off and sown his wild oats, but it's not in the way of other people. It's more that guy wanted to travel and do things with his life, and she didn't want to hold him back. So this might be relevant to some people, but if it's not, just disregard that bit. But that is the theme in those films. But in The Rebound, I love it. I always get chills because I actually watched that film when I was slap bang in the heartbreak, like the worst bit of it, like the spiritual awakening worst bit. So it was like I was longing after my divine masculine, but I was also going through huge, intense spiritual upgrades, and just everything was going on. But I knew when I watched it all, and I'm talking like this was ridiculous amount of years ago. It was kind of like I just remember thinking, I hope that's what happens to me and him. Like, that it's you connect, you go off, and you go off in the different directions, and you meet up when it's the right time. So, oh my God, see what I mean about Mercury conjunct my Pluto. So again, like I said, it could be that you had this with each other at some point, or this could be way in the past, this could be present, or this could be the future, or this could be about karmic, you with karmic energies. That it's like, there's a weird mix of love for a person, but not in love, and not wanting to, like have change. Now, this is interesting. I was shuffling them and it's just stopped on Step into the Spotlight. You have a message that the world needs to hear. It's time to share your wisdom. So what I'm getting with this is you may already be somebody that does something like this on social media, on any of the platforms. Look out for the 30th of October being significant, so Scorpio season. You might also be a Scorpio, but also that is interesting because there is a theme. So like I said, it's confirmation of it's safe to be seen, especially if you come from like a family, or whether your mum and dad are alive or in the spirit world, because I know there's a mixture of people out there. It's like we're you might have had an energy, either like an unspoken one or a just an out there one of like, who do you think you are to be doing that? It's kind of like it's time to release that karma, and be seen. So I can think, that absolutely came up on the live stream last night, when I read out what Renee had channeled, which again was beautiful, very deep. Actually, see, that's very Mercury and Scorpio, come to think of it, because I'm just trying to think. I think it was Mercury went into Scorpio after I've done the live, but you know what I mean? It's the energy was already there, because that is very deep. But the other thing is talking to Renee. So I actually pulled this from Renee's Unlisted, and then I didn't know where the book was, but I really felt like I wanted to read it, because I mean, what you might say for that? I can channel loads for these cards are beautiful, but they are, and also it's our wolf pack energy. Thank you, Charlotte. She gave me these a few years ago. But anyway, when I read the message, I was like, wow, right. So this is Renee, this is for you, but this is for basically all the divine masculines, because if you're at this part of the timeline, you know what I mean? It's like if you're not already, and again, step into the spotlight can also just simply mean it's time to be seen. It's time if you've been in the shadows and you need to speak your truth, whatever that is, you need to come out and you need to step into the light. But like I said, for other people, it's that you do work like myself, you're in the public eye. For other people, it's your union's going to be seen, but there's this big mix of this. There's codependency somewhere, and there's the boundaries needed. So either you've worked on it, you're working on it now, or you need to work on it. And it doesn't need to be with lovers, it can be with family, it can be friends, it's a big tangled mess for some people. But I looked at 1441, and that's mirrored numbers, twin flames, because it's like kind of like, look, right, okay, I don't like getting too deep in this, but I can tell why they're going to make me, because it's like I just said about Mercury and Scorpio. Once upon a time, I would not have looked at me, my twin flame, like there was any type of codependency or anything like that. I would have been like, I would have thought that was too deep to look at it like that, because we had an arrangement that suited us both, and we were drawn to each other like magnets and all that jazz, like what happens with twin flames. But you've got to remember, because I've known my twin flame over 20 years, and you've got to take away a lot of time as well, because we've been in huge separations and stuff. It's kind of like, yeah, I just wouldn't have thought, like, it just wouldn't have even entered my head, because we didn't have a lot to do with each other's lives, other than when we did have these magical moments of rendezvous, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, but then, for quite a few years now, I was like, oh shit, yeah. Well, that was codependent, you know what I mean? It was codependency, because it was like we were addicted to each other. And isn't that interesting that it's, Scorpio energy is addiction, and it's Mercury, planet communication, in intense Scorpio conjunct my Pluto. Like, it was intense, and because it doesn't matter that we were never a couple per se, we spent a lot of time together and a lot of that kind of time together. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like that is sharing a lot of energy with someone, and creating a lot of memories, and a lot of intense memories, which have clearly kept me going to still be doing this. But it's kind of like, do you know what I'm saying? All jokes aside, it's that is that, I can only speak for myself, but I definitely, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm definitely sure he would agree. when he's not in his ego, he would agree. It's like we were addicted to each other. It was, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I still wouldn't have said it wasn't unhealthy, but that's when we went into separation, when it was kind of like, right, what is this? What are we doing? Like, if we're not gonna be a couple, which that wasn't on the cards. It was like, definitely it didn't seem in his plans at that time. Then we can't keep doing this, because one of us is going to go out with someone at some point, and it's going to be like, how long have you been sleeping with that person? What? Like, what the fuck? So do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the codependency part. So anyway, quite detailed, but I know that some people are going to hear me out there. So anyway, moving on. So back to this card. So I'm not going to read it all because it's very long, but so it talks about Bath Cole. This energy is a mysterious creature. She's an angel known as a divine oracle, the daughter of the divine voice, the pure and true sound of spirit. When she whispers to your heart, you feel it's an inner knowing, a truth. To honour that inner knowing likely requires a confrontation of fear and moving in unexpected directions. So you see what I mean? It's like this energy is helping all the divine masculines to speak your truth. It is basically like the Holy Spirit urging you to speak your truth. And let go of the resistance, and that's the word that came out in the feelings. We may initially feel as we let go of our limited perspective and allow ourselves to be guided by spirit. Like, it may feel really powerful. So basically, the spiritual voice of Bath Cole is always true, always healing, and always in harmony with the higher loving plan of the universal heart, which is working towards the spiritual fulfillment of all hearts, which is the power of Mercury and Scorpio. If you're using your words to heal and not to harm, they're powerful. But that is why you have to, when you step into helping lots of people, you have to have your ego and your shadow in check. Like, if there's any chance of you being, somebody pushing your buttons and you lashing out and hurting them with words, then that's a good indication, you need to do that healing work, because it's not good for you, because then you're going to be carrying guilt and shame and everything. And it's obviously not good if there's other vulnerable people that you can lash out at. So it's very important that that's just a side note for if you do go into helping other people, or if you're helping people now, you have to just be aware of that, So, but again, even just in general, you don't need to be in the spotlight or on social media or anywhere helping people. You should always be aware if you've got the power to hurt or to heal your words. So, take a breath before you lash out at someone. Everyone needs to hear that. So when Bath Cole appears, an inner spiritual call may require a leap of faith. A more authentic, awakened you is coming to life. So this is what I'm saying. This is what all the masculines are going through, male or female. Paving the way for a higher self to manifest typically means that fear and control-based approaches need to be surrendered. Bath Cole's presence indicates something more appropriate and vital needs to be superseded, the limiting structures currently in place. So yeah, spiritual transformation, material manifestation, order inner guidance requires courage, but rich rewards on many levels. So your voice needs to be heard without judgment, censorship. So again, that's why it's coming in again with, if say you had a critical parent or something, or you might still have a critical parent, you might keep having like a resistance and a hesitation at speaking your truth anywhere. Never mind a group of people, just anywhere, to like someone you love, to friends, you might not feel safe. So that's why it'd be wise to go to someone like myself or someone that you trust, so that you're able, like a therapist, which I am too, by the way, if you're new, to be able to, open the throat chakra. And again, to pick on Renee, but in a good way, that she's a good example of that, because me and Renee have literally only ever had 2 Zooms together. And then I just done that unlisted last week? What day is today? Yeah, just last week, end of last week. And it's clear, like, it's so, like, that's a perfect example of what I say about everything I do is channeling, clearing and healing energy. This is not just the card reading. Even this right now, all the collective ones, but definitely if all that energy's been directed to you in a personal one, like if this was just yours, you will feel it, because you know what I mean. And that's what I mean about, I'm so grateful when I attract soul family that do connect the dots and let me know, or give some sort of feedback, or share with other people what happened for them. And you don't need to go into major detail. Like, that's why I say to people, just write a wee paragraph, a few wee lines. If you're excited after you get the unlisted, or if after you get a Zoom, I always used to say, just take your time, don't worry about that. But now I'm not as laid back about it. I'm like, well, if you're excited and you're going to forget all the synchronicities, write it all down. But bear in mind that although I love the synchronicities and you love the synchronicities, let's face it, these synchronicities aren't actually going to really mean too much to other people. It's kind of like, as well, like, so for instance, one of you was replying back to me about, a number that I saw, I don't know, I'm always like, oh, this could be significant, that could be significant. And that's the kind of thing where when I'm channeling, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember. I don't remember what I've said, because it's not me and passed on the message. But I will still acknowledge, like, you share with me, but just remind me, being like, oh, you know how you said that? And I think, like, I mean, because I might be like, when did I say that? Where did I say it? Like, I'm sure you've all had an experience with me where we've been on a live and I'm like, I will have just said something. And then I'm like, where did I say that? And it's not that I'm saying that you're picking up me wrong. I just don't remember it. So that's what true channeling is. You're allowing the message to come through and you let it go, because I can't carry everyone's shit everywhere. Because I already do. That's why I do need to cut the cords and cleanse my energy. And it's why they're saying I need to have a complete, those 3 weeks to myself. So as much as I'm saying I'll have emergency sessions and that might not even be the case. It's a nice thought, but it's probably not worth it. It's probably just like, people need to be patient for when I come back, because we'll blink and I'll be back. But I'm just saying, sometimes there are emergencies where, but again, it'll all work itself out. So anyway, yeah, so it's oh yeah, wow. So this is saying it also encourages you to practice your power of discernment. So you know how the owls keep coming out? That's a good place to get the charms. So let's see. I'll look at them in a minute. Where did I get to? Yeah, filter ego from heart. If a point of view lowers your vibration, makes you feel negatively about yourself, or another increases your confusion, or makes matters seem more complicated, it's likely an ego-driven point of view. And that's so nuts, because I've never read this word, but I just glanced at the first paragraph, like, when I saw it, but it was kind of like, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's what true shadow work and shadow integration is. Like, that's why it's like, if you are called to help others, you have to get your own ego in check. But really, just not just helping others, just dealing with it. You have to do that. You know what I mean? You don't have to, but if you don't, you're going to take your own shit out on other people. And the worst kind, which I experienced too much, is covertly. The hard to kind, like, like when you come across like narcissists, or just people with narcissistic tendencies, or just tricky, shady fuckers, that you're just kind of like, oh, no one would even believe me. What's the point? You know what I mean? So to consider what you might be able to learn from a viewpoint, you need to settle yourself more authentic spiritual ground. So here's a wee prayer. So I call upon the divine voice of Bath Cole, guardian of luminous communications and clear channel for spiritual truth and healing grace. Please bless me with clarity according to the highest wisdom and mercy, divine timing. May I read the signs and hear the voice of truth louder than all others. May all beings receive the guidance they need to find happiness and spiritual freedom. So, and again, I feel you will feel that, because Renee specifically actually said that whatever I prayed about the time before, you know, that, and the thing is, what's funny is I can't even remember when it was, but I don't know whether it was, I don't know whether it was in the personal reading or whether it was on the live, but Renee always feels, you know, because Renee's in the membership, so when I pray and there she feels it, and I'm not just talking about live, just every day, you know, so it's that, not everyone feels it that closely. It's not everyone is meant to be that closely connected to me, but obviously Renee's one of them, and there's some other you, so we'd love to have some more in the membership if you want to, but let's see what the charms say. So there's obviously a consistent theme here of being seen, and definitely releasing any, like, family, wait a minute, let's shuffle, like anywhere where family may have, and obviously, you know, if your mum or dad is in the spirit world, there's a lot of parents coming forward to be like, you know, with that energy of like, I'm sorry that that's how I was, you know, it's, and that's how I was treated when I was younger. It's, you know, it's different kind of things for different people. Oh, it's that one again. This one's come up a lot. Yeah, meet your ancestral shadow. Look at what was said. Like, I geek out because this is like total Mercury and Scorpio. So there might be a history of codependent connections who's resonating. Also, it's the 9th on Thursday, so the 9th could be significant. Oh, and it's the 8th tomorrow. So the 8th and 9th of October, start living fully. Like, it's time to start living fully in your purpose, a lot of people. Which, some of you, you're healing yourself. Some of you, you're healing yourself and you're sharing when you've got energy. Some of you have been sharing a long time, like myself, but even if you've been sharing a long time like myself, you have to check in when you need time off. Self-explanatory with what I've been going on about with me taking time off. So, butterfly, you're going through a huge transformation to peace. Protect your peace. Starfish in the bed, or something about a beach. You know, again, I feel that's about rest. You know, the wheel of destiny and fate is turning. Sorry, I'm getting so sick of saying that, but it keeps coming out. There's another starfish, so extra rest. Octopus, loads of shit about the beach, but I see this as like you're being pulled here and everywhere, and you need to rein it right back. There might be some kind of book where there's knowledge that you need, or an audio book. There's a chameleon around you. Somebody's a bit of a shapeshifter. Shapeshifters aren't always bad, but in this case, I do feel with that jealousy badge that I picked up at the start, there's somebody's not showing you the whole truth. There's another octopus. It's somebody confusing you, you know, so be discerning. Somebody holds the key to your heart. Go slow with your healing. There's no need to rush it. Take your time. You're right where you need to be, right? If you've already been going slow and you're getting all the signs that it's time to go, 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 well, that's you. We're anchoring in heaven on earth. Love it. Love the charms. Right, and I haven't seen that wee book yet that I remember, so at least we got one that's not been seen yet. And again, let me know in the comments if you like that, because it reminds me to do it. I often forget. My God, 30 minutes already. Right, so this was an intense one, but I'm going to trust it's going to be, yeah. But I wanted to read that card before I forgot, because I'm like, right, time's going to pass, and then I forget, and it was a strong message, because it's what I said yesterday too. Like, this is what I got. Look, angel of channeling. Like, a lot of divine masculines, like, you're channeling in your own way, because again, channeling can come through spoken word, written word, you know, like spontaneous things like that. Like, you know, there's so many stories of people like just channeling a whole book in a day, or poetry, like what's happening today there. And it's, you know, this is what's happened when anyone connects with me. Like, I've been doing this working with the public for 10 years, and I've been, you know, learning different modalities and healing myself for the past 20 years, which, considering I'm only 41, I started very young. But I'm an old soul, so I got right on it, you see. Like, but it's kind of like, it's big stuff. So if it resonates, it resonates, kind of thing. Right, I'll pick these up, so let's see what else comes out. Let go of judgment. Yeah, like I said, it's exactly what I said. I really, you know, I can really feel, you know, because with me, especially the mediumship part of me, when you've got natal Mercury and Scorpio, that can be people that are like natural kind of mediums, and, you know, your voice might be quite healing and intense, and so, you know, with the nature of all my Scorpio in my chart, and being a medium and a shaman and stuff, it does make my messages more intense. So it's a bit of a shame that I'm taking time off on Mercury and Scorpio, but at least we're getting some of it. But yeah, I do feel, there's been some kind of harsh criticism. It feels like some kind of parent could have been a bit hard on you, or it could even be grandparents or something. But let go of judgment. Judging others only keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace compassion, release judgment. I feel there's a strong energy of support coming through from loved ones and spirit to, be seen. Don't hide your light. Oh, but then look, embrace healing, which is exactly what I said. Healing is a journey, not a destination, which is why they obviously said through me, take your time. Trust the process and know that every step brings you closer to peace. And we saw the dove. Right, so I'm going to end that there so we get on and film the next one.